All right, guys, let's take a look at the Bell & Ross BR05. Now, I know, because I follow the watch world just like you guys do, that when this was first released or announced, that I'm thinking there was not much love for it. As a matter of fact, I think there was a lot of people that were like offended by it for some reason. I freaking love the watch. Like, the watch is awesome. And maybe it's because it had so much negativity surrounding its release as far as like what people thought about it. But I'm telling you, in the metal, when you have this thing, it's killer. But I'm biased. You guys know I like square G-Shocks and crazy things and stuff like that. But this thing just is just spectacular. I don't know how else to do it. The finishing on it is superb. The brushing is super clean. The polished screw heads are just absolutely beautiful. The transitions are sharp. The polished edges are just amazing. And then the case size is perfect. There's just so much great about this watch. If you can look at it and be like, yeah, I dig it, then I guarantee you're going to like it. If you look at this and for some reason you're offended, then you still might like it, but maybe it's time to just walk away and go look at something else. So Bell & Ross has been doing square type aviation gauge looking watches for some time now. And that's definitely in that theme, except for it has the edges softened a little bit. With an integrated bracelet that is just, well, this is the strap, but they have an integrated bracelet or the strap. I personally love the strap. I think it's crazy comfortable. I would like to try at some point maybe the bracelet, but the bracelet is a butterfly clasp, but I'm sure it's done right, knowing Bell & Ross and how they do their watches and their components. But let's just get right into the case size. I just measured it. They say it's 40 mil. I can't catch 40 millimeter anywhere. So if I'm fair and I exclude the crown guards and the crown, which we do on most of these measurements, right? I measure about 39.5 millimeter on the side to side here. If I include the crown guards, not the crown protrudes a little bit further, but if I include the crown guards, I'm still only at like 41.67. So it is a very good size watch. You know, being square with that round dial and then, you know, keeping it around 40 or just under, I think that's going to be a Goldilocks size for most people. So the lug to lug, if you want to measure from here to here, is going to be a 47.35. You can see that nicely signed crown there with the at symbol or whatever you want to call it. The thinness of it is 10.89. That's including that flat sapphire crystal. You can see it wears very thin. So this has the movement. Let's see if we can zoom in. Bell & Ross is calling it the BR caliber .321, but really, in my research, what I find is it's a heavily modified Sellita SW300. I think that's what I found. So obviously Swiss made, as it's labeled there, and interesting finish on it. It's very industrial looking, very powdered type metal looking finish to it. So on the movement components, so which I kind of dig. It's nice. And if you, again, here's a little bit close up. I know this watch is a little smudged up, but because I've been wearing it, but the dial layout is just beautiful, super legible, amazing applied indices and numbers, nicely framed out date window. Like, I have nothing to complain about this watch as far as its total package. If I were to pick out some sort of complaints, I can tell you this. The loom, not amazing. They had missed out on an opportunity here to go nuts with the loom, and they didn't. The only other thing that could potentially be an issue for some people is the crown is a little petite. It has a really nice pop to it, and there's no play or anything like that. It's super, nice that way. The winding on it, when you spin it, almost sounds or feels like there's no wind, but if you put it up to your ear and do it, there is actually a little bit of a wind to it, so it's very refined sounding. But the crown it's small, so it's can be challenging to manipulate. It's not undoable. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it is definitely a concern for some people potentially. So it needs to be brought to attention. Now the price points on this, I just kind of searched the web a little bit. Some of my sources might not match what you find, but it looks like brand new prices for this model with the strap is you're going to probably pay around $3,500. These are new, like ADs or something. I can't remember. Maybe it was Prestige something I found it at. So I don't know what the retail prices are, but they had them for like $3,500. If you wanted the bracelet, it was like $3,900. So there's the black dial, there's a blue dial, which is beautiful, and then there's like a silver gray dial, which is really cool too. I would go with the black dial or the blue dial. I think this one looks really sharp. They also have a precious metal. They have a gold one. That is $32,000 on bracelet. $21,000 if you want to save some money and get the gold one on a strap. And then they have a skeleton model, which is like really, really cool looking. It's all grayed out and it's skeletonized. That one is $6,400. So a little spendy for a lot of people, but I think it's really worth it. I think Bell & Ross hit a home run with this thing. And you can see, I'll show you that in a minute, but you can see on my 7 1/4, it just wears perfect. There's no hot spots. It's so clean, super legible. Big thanks to Homer, my buddy Homer. You guys all think he's Batman or something, but really he's just a telemarketer. No, that's not what he is either. But, you know, he loaned this to Bruce, and then I grabbed it from Bruce. And so after this video, I'll be sending it back to Homer. Unfortunately, my time with it is coming to an end, but I could definitely see owning one of these. This is a killer model. I'm glad I was able to see this one for my first Bell & Ross, but I definitely want to see more in the future. I've been exploring their lineup. They have a ton of really cool models, and I am definitely drawn more towards their square type ones like this, and you know, some of the other VR series that they have that are the square natures. They even have an analog digital one that was pretty cool, I thought. So here's a look at the clasp. You can see really clean, all milled out, and then they tapered everything, rounded everything, smoothed it all out. There's no sharp edges to catch anywhere, and it's super comfortable on wrist. So usually I tell people to get things on bracelet, but if I don't know, the strap is really good. It is super nice, and I like that it's integrated. I know that can be divisive for a lot of people, but the integrated bracelets and straps are super, super comfortable, and that's definitely the case with this one here. So, but you guys know I'm a big fan of square watches and maybe some ridiculous watches that are square. So the Bell & Ross BR05 is definitely my wheelhouse. So thanks for watching. Let me give you a Loom Shot so you can get a glimpse of, I mean, it's Loom. There is Loom, but it definitely could have been stronger and longer lasting, but there is Loom. So it's not like there's no Loom. There is Loom. It's just, I personally think it could have been like crazy good for what package you have here. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.